Good afternoon. I'm jumping on here this afternoon so we can find out all the different things we can do with the new basic border dies. So if you're here, if you could comment. Hi Susan, how are you? These are in the new annual catalog, and I just found several different ways to use them rather than just as what you would think, just a border. I'm going to wait maybe one more minute to see if anybody else can join us. Good afternoon. I'm Debbie Broughton, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from St. Robert, Missouri. Thank you for joining me today. So this is my hostess code for June 15th till July 15th. If you place an order of $50 or more, then you will be eligible to receive access to my July online class where we'll make 3 cards and a 3D project. I will send you all the pieces cut. The only thing I can't do is send any stamped images, so any stamped items on the card you would have to provide, and you can always use a different stamp set than I did when you do those. Now, if your order gets to $150, then that's an order all on your own that you can get the hostess rewards for, the Stampin' rewards for, so don't use the hostess code for that order. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so here we go. This die set comes with 6 dies. And all of them, except for this one, have the double stitching. So when you cut it out, it would be stitching on the side that you are going to use and on what we would call like the negative side, the side that you wouldn't. But that helps, so if you wanted to use the other side for something, it would be decorated too. This one has the scallop on the one side, so it doesn't have the stitching or anything on the other side. So we're going to start out with this one. I'm going to set these over here. So this one, now like usual, you could just use it to make a border on your card like normal, but how about this? I think that this one makes a great piece like this. You could do it on each side, and it almost looks like rickrack, but not quite. We have another one that looks even more like rickrack, like we used to. So you could use this here on a card just to give you a little bit of different texture, or you could use it here and just have it on that edge. You could go this way. There's just a lot of different things that you could do with this shape. Okay, so I'll put that shape up there. Then this is the one that really looks like rickrack, and that is, I'm trying to be sure I get these right, this one. But do you remember we used to have rickrack when I was growing up, and it would be like a border on a pocket on a dress or something? So again, this would be the same idea. You could cut out several of these and in different colors and go all the way across the page with them and kind of have a really nice rainbow background. Now what you have left over, this is what I had left over cutting out this piece, is this little piece here, and you could even make it wider by not cutting as close to the edge, but it would make a nice little just like banner border at the top of your paper. So, and let me put this up here with this one. I know I'm probably not going to be able to get them all in there, but That's a different one that you could do. Now, this one, I don't know if you could probably even tell just from this what it's going to make. It is going to make clouds. What looks like clouds. Now, you could take this on a darker piece of paper in white, and you could have clouds at the top, along the side, on the bottom, but it makes nice little clouds. Or again, you could cut out strips of this, and again, if you wanted to layer them across, you could do that too. So here's what it looks like cut like this. Now, I saw someone use this side of it, the negative side of it, and did it in different colors of blues and made it kind of look like waves on the water. That would be a good idea too. And then here's one more thing you can do with it. I'll put this one up here. Put this over here. So you can cut out like a stencil with the cloud one. And you can get some, I'm going to use Pacific Point and my blender pen. Ink it up. And then kind of go like this. Get some light blue in there. And then kind of come down, come this way a little bit and do some more. Maybe just put in a couple right here. And see how that's just starting to build a sky for you? By just moving it around in different places. I just think that looks so beautiful when it makes clouds. And you could use the new tree set, or there's a lots of different sets you could use with a sky background. So, there you go. Now we're going to look at the last three dies. Well, this is one I did. I'm sorry, we're still going to go with this, the cloud one. And so what I did is I kind of cut like at an angle here. And first I cut the designer paper. This is the Expressions in Ink DSP. Isn't it beautiful? And it has some gold in there on the leaves and in the middle of the flowers. So first I cut the designer series paper and I used my adhesive and put it down, and then I took this die because the polished pink would have gone all the way down, and I laid it so that it fit just right, used a post-it note to hold it, and then cut the polished pink. Then I took the negative that I had cut off this piece and put it on the inside just to kind of decorate the inside. So that's definitely a different way you can use the cloud. And you could even use any of these. These are what I call, you know, you could do the same thing with this one and just have it come down in a V and do the same thing. But let me show you what else you could do with this one. This is a card for my June class. That's if you spent the $50 between May 15th and June 15th, you get to come to this class on the, I think it's the 25th. So, can you see how I made this like hourglass? First I cut the white, first I cut a piece of 5 1/4 by 4, and then I took this die and cut this piece. I measured 1 inch over, and this I measured 2.5 inches over, and I did it again on this half. And then when you put them together, it makes like an hourglass, and you can put a piece of DSP behind there. So that's a way that you could use this one. Now, another thing you can do, which I use this one for, is this is going to be kind of hard to see. Let me get this. Can you see? I use this piece, and I made a border on my envelope. And you could even maybe take your blender pens, not your blender pen, your blending brushes, and add a little color to the edge just to show it off a little bit more if you want it to. That's just a different way to have some envelopes decorated. Okay, so now we are on this piece, which is kind of like an oval. Again, you could use it on a card like this and just make the bottom be ovaled and, you know, put a different color down here. Or you could cut a piece out of Designer Series. Here's the other banner that I had from the Rick Rack piece that could just go on the top. Okay, so what I did is I took a piece of evergreen, that the new in color, and I cut it out like this and at the top, and then I ran it through the tree embossing folder. Can you see that? It's the pine trees, and made it be a Christmas card. And then I had this negative left over from where I cut this piece out of, and I used some Designer Series papers to kind of make a frame around these trees just for a happy birthday card. So these are all the different ways, and I'm sure there are more that you can use the basic border dies. Well, I hope you have a good afternoon, and I will see you again later this week. Bye.